Hello. So today in a different place again. Today I'm sitting by one of the altars on Sanco Hill in San Marcos, and maybe I look a little bit sooty, maybe I look a little bit work worn today, because we just finished doing our solstice ceremony, and I figured that this would be a great time to make a video. I figured that this would be a great time to talk about the Trecena of Ix, because Ix represents the altars and the shrines. It represents the sacred places around the world where we can make our petition to Mother Earth and where we can look after Mother Earth, where we can feed her in one way or another. It represents our connection to Mother Earth. And, you know, it's kind of the way that I see it, is that our connection to Mother Earth is something which allows us to understand truly how she feeds us, how she looks after us. And obviously within that there's a sense of responsibility for looking after her, for making sure that we continue to help Mother Earth to thrive. Because when we fall out of balance with Mother Earth, she needs to look after herself, and if she's looking after herself, she can't look after us. And if she can't look after us, then we lose the things which sustain us in this world. So it should be more than just because it's in our own interests, but that's not a bad place to start, to say this is a good reason for being in harmony with Mother Earth. And when we start to work with Mother Earth in this way, in my understanding, in my feeling about things, this is when our true magic begins to surface, begins to show itself. You know, they say, or I think they say something along the lines of that magic is just physics that has yet to be explained. It's a kind of cause and effect kind of thing. It's like we ask for what we'd like to bring into our lives, and when it comes in, we think, wow, this is amazing, how prayers have been answered, our miracle has happened, this is magic. But really, I'm afraid I see it kind of like in a bit more of a mundane way, in that this is partly our natural state, it's partly our divine state as well, of course. I don't want to put it down in any way, but it's a part of our own creativity that we don't always connect with, that we forget about, that we're not shown how to do, that there's no manual, there's no book that shows us how to do it. So one of the ways that we can start with regards to this path, with regards to this connection, is to come to these natural places, to come to these natural shrines, to come to these natural altars. And we start by giving thanks, because we give thanks for everything that we've received from Mother Earth. We give thanks for everything that's sustained us. And then we might ask for pardon. We might ask for pardon for not remembering to give thanks in the first place. We might ask for pardon for not spending enough time connecting with Mother Earth. And then we can ask her for what we want as well, what we need in our life to help us to bring harmony to our home, to bring harmony to our community. All of these kind of things as well. Our Mother is always happy to provide, but it's also our duty to look after her, to look after Mother Earth in the way that we would look after our mothers. So this is a symbiotic relationship that we have with the spirit of the earth. When we connect with her, she helps us to bring our magic forward. So as we go into this Trecena of Ix, this is a time to reconnect with Mother Earth. This is a kind of time to understand what it is that we can do in our own way, in our own place, in the sacred places that are around us, what we can do to help Mother Earth, what we can do to sustain her, what we can do to look after her, what we can do to connect with her more fully. And in this time, this is also the one representing potential, where we've got the one Ix. So this is the potential to connect with Mother Earth. This is the potential to reconnect with the altars, to connect with the sacred places, the holy places all around you. This is the potential also to recognize the magical being that dwells within everybody. As I said, it's just a science which we don't always understand, and yes, there's a bit more to it than that, but it's our way of being, it's our birthright in one way or another, our connection through these sacred places, through these sacred sites. They're our connection to Mother Earth. And so over this next 13-day period, it's a great time to go to sacred sites, to go and visit some of those old places. We have them all around us. We don't necessarily recognize them for what they are. Sometimes they've been hidden. Sometimes we're not sure about them. Sometimes they're really obvious, like Tikal, like Palenque, like Stonehenge, like the pyramids of Giza, like Machu Picchu. These are great altar sites, big altar sites. And then there are places like this. This altar is called Hunlahu Kech, 11 Kech. And it's one of the altars of San Marcos, one of the altars of Tzanquihil. And it's a very important altar to me. So, we begin the Trecena on Hunish and Wanish. Wanish can be very much about the new beginning, to look for that magic, the new beginning, to look for that connection, the new possibilities, the new ways that you might be able to look after Mother Earth, the new ways that you might want to start some kind of ecological project, or at least kind of like making a resolution to go around and just look after your local environment. That will then give way to Tzikin. So Tzikin, the Nawal of vision. Tzikin, the Nawal of prosperity. True prosperity for me is about when Mother Earth thrives, when our environment thrives. We work within an ecosystem. And there's no point in us thriving financially if Mother Earth is dying, because it's a very unsustainable model to be working with. So this can bring a new vision. The Tzikin day can bring a vision of like what you can give. The two can represent self-sacrifice, so it can be what you can give in order to bring that vision in order to bring that connection with Mother Earth in. Now the two can also represent relationships, it can also represent lovers, and here we have Tzikin, and so this might be something along the lines of making sure that your relationship is prosperous. What are the visions for your relationship? Maybe you have a new vision that you want to bring in. This would be a great day to bring it in with your partner in one way or another, to combine your visions together in one partnership. The third day of the Trecena is 3 Achmach. Now each of the Achmach days gives us an opportunity to forgive. And the 3 Achmach, the 3 represents the home place, it represents the inner creativity. And so when we see 3 Achmach, what we can understand is this is all about using the forgiveness within yourself, using the forgiveness within the home. And so this is a great day for really kind of like saying, right, okay, whatever it was that I've been carrying for the last 260 days, for the last 365 days, however you want to look at it, whatever it is that you might have felt a bit guilty about or something along that line, it's a time to forgive yourself. So 3 Achmach is really a day to be in your home, looking at yourself, looking at what you want to bring out, what you want to develop, the magic that you want to connect with over the next cycle. And say, right, okay, what don't I want to carry forward? What burdens of guilt or blame or shame am I done with? Where can I forgive? And how can I forgive myself? From 3 Achmach, we move into 4 Noch. And 4 Noch is a very, very practical Nawal. Very, very practical day, because Noch represents the problem solver. It's in particular, the left brain, the logical kind of masculine part of the brain, as it were. It's that identity that helps us to understand how to bring things into being. It's what translates an idea into a solution. And with the number 4, this is a very masculine day, because we have Noch, which can be quite a masculine Nawal, and the number 4, which can be quite a masculine, very physical, practical number in the material realm. So this is really about manifesting the solution to the problem into the physical world. So what might be the problem? My problem might be a disconnection from Mother Earth. The problem might be that there's the pollution. Well, 4 Noch gives us a practical solution of what we can do to help, what we can do to connect, how we can look after it in the physical. After 4 Noch, we move into 5 Tihash. So the 5 days, well, they're work days, they're the hand. They're all about bringing our work in, working on whatever it's attached to. And what's it attached to? Well, it's attached to Tihash. And Tihash, the warrior, the obsidian blade, the healer. Tihash is about cutting away the debris in order to bring healing. It's about cutting away that thing that's caused us to go out of balance, in order to bring balance back, in order to bring healing back. And so this day, 5 Tihash, is a day for working on it, for working on the plan, for using our energy, because work is always the energy that we're putting into a system, the energy that we're putting into something. It's about putting our energy into being warriors for the truth. That Tihash, that obsidian blade, that's what we cut through the falsehood, that's what we cut through the lies with, that's what we cut through the things that we've been told that are stopping us from connecting with Mother Earth, that are stopping us from looking after Mother Earth. So it's a day when we might kind of find out some things. If we dig a bit deeper, because we can see the work being like digging deep with things. We dig a bit deeper to look behind the facade of that company or the facade of that organisation, in order to find out really what they're doing, really whether they're as in harmony with Mother Earth as we'd like them to be. It's a day to use our energy as a holy warrior for the spirit of Mother Earth. As we move through Tihash, we then move into Kawok, and we move into 6 Kawok. So Kawok is the midwife energy, it's the energy of the rain, it's the rain which helps everything to sprout. It's the rain, the flood that washes away the filth, as it were, in order to allow the new growth to happen. And here it's connected with the number 6. Now 6 Kawok, I once did an analysis of many of the readings that I'd done, and found that 6 Kawok is one of the Nawalis which seems to be particularly attached to this area, to San Marcos. And when I looked at it, Kawok is the Nawal of the feminine healer. It's the midwife energy, it's that rebirthing energy, it's about pushing things through into a new life. It's about opening of the channel and removing of the obstructions in order to bring that new life into being, in order to move forward in life. So we have that aspect of Kawok, and we have it connected with the number 6, and the number 6 is the material plane, connected with heaven and earth, connected with the heart of the sky and the heart of the earth, connected with the divine masculine and the divine feminine. So it's calling on heaven and earth into the material plane in order to wash away the obstructions in our path. Now, what is our path at the moment? Well, our path began on 1 Ish, so our path is that of connecting with Mother Earth. It's a path of helping to connect ourselves with both the magic of the earth and the magical being within us. And so 6 Kawok suggests that if we've got any obstructions in that path, then we can call on 6 Kawok. This is a day to wash away things. This is a way to call on heaven and earth in order to wash away any physical obstructions that we might have. But it's also a day on which we can receive the healing that we might need. It's a compassionate day. The day of Kawok is the feminine healer. It's the compassionate healer. This might be drawing on heaven and earth in order to heal. Maybe a healing of our connection with Mother Earth. After 6 Kawok, we move into 7 Achpu. So the numbers we can see set out on a pyramid, and 7 is the top of the pyramid. It's the medium point of the cycle, the middle of the cycle. And here we have Achpu representing the sun sitting on top of the pyramid. This Wukub Achpu was the uncle of the hero twins. 7 can represent endings. 7 can represent death. And 7 can represent all the different possibilities that we can see when we're standing on top of the hill, when we're standing on top of the pyramid. And what are the possibilities attached to? Well, they're attached to Achpu. And Achpu is all about divinity, it's all about holiness. It's all about getting in touch with that hero inside each one of us. The hero that fights for the good, the hero that fights for the earth, however we want to look at it like that. Achpu is also our connection with the divine, and it's our connection with our divine self. And our divine self we might describe as being the magician within as well. And so this is a day about taking that to a final point, taking it to an ending point, about seeing all the possibilities for bringing divinity into the world and choosing one and taking it to a final point. We then move to the sacred day, the ceremonial day of the Trecena, 8 Imosh, Washekib Imosh. So Imosh is the Nawal of the oceans, it's the Nawal of the seas, the great bodies of water, it's the Nawal of the Lake Atitlan, the great lakes of the world. And we all understand right now that the waters of the earth need healing. When we talk about Mother Earth, we're not just talking about the land, we're talking about the seas as well. And so Imosh is asking us to give thanks for the water. 8 Imosh is a day of ceremony for the water. So maybe this is a day when you might make a simple ceremony. You might give thanks for the waters, for the oceans, for the seas, for the lakes, and for everything that comes to you from them, because water is our sustenance. Without water, that's it. Our planet's barren, our planet's dead. And so in this Trecena, as we're recognizing our connection to Mother Earth, 8 Imosh can be a great day to do ceremony for the water, ceremony for the oceans. And that ceremony might be a physical ceremony. It might be going and clearing up the beach, in some way removing the contamination from the oceans and the seas. From 8 Imosh we move into 9 Ix. So Ix is the wind, Ix is the communication, Ix is the divine breath, and here we see it connected with the number 9, the number of life and the number of the divine feminine. So in particular, this is a day to listen to the words of women. There are particular days and there are things that come out particularly strongly. This is all about the words of life. And so if you need some inspiration, you might find that it's a female teacher or something in your life who brings those words to you today. So be aware and be alert for the words and the communication that come through the feminine. It also represents change. And so it may be that if we're looking to change, if we want to change something in our lives, if we want to advance, it may be the women in our lives that we connect with in order to get the inspiration of how to change. And as I said also, it's about the words of life, the words that bring life, the breath which brings life, the breath of life itself, both Ik and 9. And so this is really a kind of like, this could be time to bring life to something, to breathe life into something. 9 Ik, we go into 10 Aqbal. So Aqbal is the sunset, it's the dawn and the dusk, it's the bridge between the worlds, it's the twilight. And 10 Aqbal we see as the hands coming together. Aqbal is the new concept. When the day begins, we don't know what the day is going to bring. We might have some ideas, we might have some projects, some plans, some ideas that we hope to complete on that day, but we don't necessarily know exactly what's going to happen. Aqbal brings a new concept, a new energy, a new life each day. And here we have it combined with the number 10. So Aqbal is our ability to bridge the dream world into the physical is about bringing our dreams into the physical as a new concept. And here we have it connected with the number of community, the number of cooperation. So it may be that in this journey, you know, up until now we've been talking, okay, we talked about talking with the women, about bringing the breath of life in. Well, here we have the community, the cooperation that brings a new dawn, that brings a new concept in. So it's a great day to get together with your community and say, right, okay, if we're connecting with Mother Earth, if we're going to be looking after Mother Earth, how can we work together to make this happen? Because together we're always going to be stronger. It may be that you have half a concept and your friend has half a concept, and when you bring them together, that's when the true concept comes forth. From 10 Chabal we move into 11 Kat. And 11 Kat is the bundling in Kat of things which have come from many different directions. As I sit here on this altar, 11 Kech, on this day, 11 Bats, one of the things that came to me very strongly is about how the people that came to this ceremony today were bringing energies from many different places in the world, from many different disciplines. The things that they'd learnt, the experiences that they had, they bring to weave in here. And on this day 11 Kat, this might be about looking in many, many different directions in order to coalesce into one idea, in order to coalesce, to bring it together into one bundle, to bring it together into one net. So, on our mission that we've been set on this 13-day period that begins with Ish, our connection to Mother Earth, it might say, well, on 11 Kat, this is when we might be looking around in many different directions at the way that we can reconnect with the Earth. Many different traditions, maybe it's Mayan tradition, maybe it's Celtic tradition, maybe it's Native American, maybe it's South American, we just don't know. Everything has truth in it. And sometimes we need to take a little from there and a little from there and a little from there so that we can see the whole truth, so that we can create what it is that we want to gather in our net. So you may find that the abundance, the harvest, comes from many different directions on the day 11 Kat. And from 11 Kat we move into 12 Can. And once again we have Kat, which is the bundling with the 11, and then we have the 12, which is the bundling connected with Can. Can represents power, and Can represents wisdom. And can represent the political manipulations that happen. Can also gives us the opportunity to see through those manipulations, to see through those illusions. The number 12 brings together all of our life experience, all of our understandings, all of our teachings, everything that we've gathered in life. And so here we can see all of our wisdom being brought together in order to see the true picture, in order to maybe see through an illusion, maybe see through a manipulation, maybe see through politicians. It all comes from our wisdom, from our learning, from our understanding. And so 12 can be a very strong day, but it's a day when we might get to see the true wisdom. And then finally, we move into a very special day. Now, the Nawal Kameh represents our ancestors, it represents death, it represents the dead. And the number 13 also represents the spirit world, and it represents the ancestors. So 13 Kameh can be a very, very strong day for connection with our ancestors, with the spirits of our ancestors. There is, within the Christian world, the day on which we might connect with our ancestors. Here in Latin America, the Day of the Dead on the 1st, 2nd of November. But in the Mayan world, the ancestors and the connection with their spirits is on Kameh days. This is where we call to our ancestors, where we call to the dead. And the 13 makes that especially potent. This is a day to receive messages from your ancestors. This is a day to connect with the spirits of your ancestors. And so what we see is that we've evolved from Hun Ish, from one Ish, through to 13 Kameh. We've moved from that potential to connect with Mother Earth, the potential to connect with the magician within, and we're ending up connecting with the spirits of our ancestors. So as we wanted to connect with Mother Earth, as we wanted to protect Mother Earth, on this final day of the Trecena, it's the understanding, the knowledge, the wisdom, and the spirit that comes from our ancestors which can help us to finalize that mission, which can help to empower us and our communities. Listen to the words of our ancestors. Ask for the words of our ancestors. 13 Kamei, well 13 days, I usually say that the veil is pretty thin on 13 days anyway, and 13 Kamei is probably where the veil between this and the other world is at its thinnest. So it's a great day for mediumship, it's a great day to ask your ancestors about stuff, it's a great day to connect with that energy, and it's a great day to give thanks to your ancestors, because your ancestors are the ones that have given us this world to live in, who've left it in the way that it is. Maybe we've got to do a bit of tidying up after some of our ancestors. There's some messages from them that will help us to go through that. So, thank you for listening once again. Thank you for watching. And I'll see you again in 13 days' time.